Welcome to the Heartland Journal podcast with Steve Abramowitz, editor-in-chief of heartlandjournal.com.
Buddy, I don't even have a dog. The trouble with being a little kid is no one ever asks your opinion about anything. Sometimes I go a whole day without ever touching the ground. 10! Here we go! Slam dunk! Happiness is a warm puppy. Oh.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the show. I'm Steve Abramowitz, and this is the Heartland Journal podcast. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and pass it around. We only grow with your help. Thanks for doing it. Before we get going, I just want to give a quick shout out to my sidekick and co-pilot of nearly 14 years, really the inspiration for everything I've done on the show. If you've seen our walk and talks on Rumble, you know. But Saturday, August 23rd, we had to say goodbye to Sweet Caroline, my best furry friend and alpha bitch. She was a rescue from an organization called Paws in the Northwest that rescues dogs. So we got her when she was about 7 months old, we think. And man, those 7 months in the wild must have been hell because the stray never left her. You can take the dog out of the street, but you can't take the street out of the dog. We did a good job, though, I think. She had a good, long, healthy life, and I miss her. And all that walking probably added 3 years. Not to mention the weekend before was our 3-year anniversary of both of us arriving in Tennessee. She loved Tennessee, you could tell. All dogs go to heaven, they say, so I'll see her again if I stay on this path. And look for my column on her. I'm calling The Last Mile, since we put about 1,000 miles under our 6 feet together, plus the 2,500 miles from Seattle to Nashville, just me and her, one way for her. I'll never forget that time we shared baptism by country. She was a changed dog when we got here to Tennessee, and so was I, a changed man, just like she changed me when I first got her. I think I parented her better than my own kids when my youngest was 6. We got her. Sorry, kids. But God bless Sweet Caroline. Thank you, folks. At Veterinary Emergency Group, they provided a nice, low-lit room, gave her a sleeping injection. I twirled her velvety ear one last time. She loved that. She laid over her head on my foot, like always, and I told her she was a beautiful soul and was off duty and could finally relax and let go the pain she never once cried about. I closed her eyes one last time and she was gone. Welcome her home and take care of her mom, dad, Ty, the lab, Barry, Steve Buten, all my people, and Jesus, who I thank for every moment he gave me with her. What a blessing. See you all again soon enough. Okay, on this show, we are focusing on our nation today with always an interesting person making a positive change in our community, where I interview people who are making an impact and are lovers of truth. Today, we are talking with special guest Christine Lozano. The show must go on. Christine Lozano is an artist, photographer, actor, writer from El Paso, Texas, and has been in LA for over 30 years. She started out as a photographer, self-taught, and then auditioned for and got accepted into the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute. That ain't easy. She's a proud SAG union member and always looking forward to what the future holds. She produced her first movie and participated in a 24-hour film festival in her home state of Texas last October. Besides that, she has a book out called The Viper Room, 1995 to 2004, which encapsulates the West Hollywood scene in its heyday. She's currently touring with photos from the book around the U.S. and hopefully will expand overseas. It's had gallery openings in Los Angeles and Texas, and we will be doing one in New York this year. Check out the website, viperroomphotos.com. Let's see how she is. Hello, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm in Nashville. Where are you?
I'm actually in El Paso, Texas.
Okay, you're from El Paso, Texas. Are
I'm
you
from El Paso, Texas, and I'm here. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been here, but I'm back for a little bit.
okay? Okay, I know you were
Mhm.
touring your photos there not long ago. Have you not been back since, or is that this?
No, that is this. I did the photo show last year, so I've been here for about a year.
Oh,
Been here from LA for about a year. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so it wasn't just a 1 or 2 night thing. You made it a permanent.
No,
That's
I'm just
fantastic.
yeah,
So
yeah,
how's it
yeah, yeah.
received in Texas? Do they care about LA history? Do they care about rock and roll? What's the
You
vibe in
you
Texas?
know actually, I was actually surprised. I don't know if I should say that. I was actually surprised. The turnout was really well. But one of the things is El Paso is sort of a rock and roll kind of hardcore music thing anyway. So surprised but not surprised, but I was surprised about the turnout. Yeah, but it went good. It went good. So, and also, one of the things that I wanted to take it to here or to other places is because everyone has basically heard of the Viper Room, but not a lot of people were able to be there during the heyday, so they get to see pictures. And the way I do the show is like you're actually there because there's a whole stage set up, and
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like Studio 52nd if you weren't there, or even Woodstock, which they just had the reunion last weekend. If you weren't there, this is the next best thing is your
yeah.
pictures. So well, tell us first, when you got back to El Paso, I guess you said it a bit, you 30 years in LA. Did El Paso change quite a bit? And then we'll talk about Sunset Strip, but what about El Paso?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I haven't been here I've been in LA for so long. I left when I was 18 here. And it's bigger, but it still has that small town feel, if that makes any sense.
Sure it does.
It's very widespread, but it's still very yeah, very small town feel.
Yeah. I live in
So there
Nashville,
it's a
so I
whole different.
totally know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the Sonic Ranch is right there in El Paso, super famous recording studio.
Hmm.
Did you ever think about
No.
taking some shots there? No, okay, you're done.
No, I mean, I haven't thought about that. Actually, that's funny that you said that because someone else mentioned that to me. I think it was like last week, and I never even heard of it.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I know.
That's that. You know what?
So
That's sort of the best investigative journalism is like, I've never heard of it. So as you investigate and find out like, oh my gosh, Stevie Ray Vaughan was here, you would like become like a groupie, so to speak. So do you remember the first time you ever heard of the Viper Room?
the first time I heard of the Viper Room,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I was in LA, so it actually started in '93. That's when Johnny and Sal and Chucky and some other people started it in '93. In '93, I was actually interning at a magazine, so I had met their publicist at that time, and that's how I got in through that door is from there. So I heard of it when I was interning at a magazine in LA.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
it used to be called something else before that. It was called
The
the
Central.
Central, going way, way back. Yeah, 93 was the
Yeah.
last time I was there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But do you remember the first time you got in there?
The first time I went to the club was when I was interning for the magazine just to check it out. And, like I said, the posters was my friend. So just hanging out there. And then, that's when I met the GM and, started working as his assistant. So
Was Tommy the
yeah.
GM then too?
Tommy, no, 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 no. How dare you, sir? No, Tommy Black. No. Tommy, boy, this is not going to be.
It's all right.
Tommy didn't come until the very end. Okay, so I don't really consider him a really true member of the Viper Room. He came at the very end before we left. So we all left in 2004. I'm gonna get burned for this. 2004. He started working there. I think he was bar backing or doing something, but no, he was no, no, no,
Okay.
no,
Was
no.
Stephanie still the door gal and Rita selling
Stephanie
merch?
did the door How do you know these people? Stephanie did
I
the
used to
door
go
every
there
once in a while.
every night, every week.
We love Stephanie. Stephanie is amazing. She's just so like fun loving. We yeah. I think she had purple hair back then, but she'd always have her hair up in weird things and, but she was a door girl every off and on, but yes, Stephanie was there throughout. But yeah, the other one didn't come to the end. So,
Okay. Who gave you all the access?
what do you mean to take photos? That
Yeah.
was through Johnny and Sal.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
because there
will.
was no cameras allowed. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about Sal at the end. What was your impression? It's not exactly the Hollywood Bowl or the Mayan even, but more like CBGB's was in New York,
Oh,
cramped, gritty, and totally awesome and about 100 degrees. What was your impression of the first time
and
you went?
smoky.
And smoky, right?
And
You could
smoky.
smoke back then. I forgot.
Yeah, yes, you could. Well, I've always been into music. I mean, just college, it all started off as like, I don't want to say I was an emo girl, but The Cure, Iggy Pop, Echo and the Bunnymen. So I was always into music. And when I started there, one of the things that was great is that the stage was like really right here and you're right there. I mean, the stage was so close, and that was actually the first time I've ever been that close to musicians of a higher grade, just known people just coming just to jam out and just to play, and they're like right there in front of you. So it was awesome. It was amazing. It was nothing like I've ever been to before. So
Yeah,
yeah.
very, very intimate. And let's just step outside for a second. You can see from the sidewalk out front, you can see the Rainbow Room, you can see the Whiskey A Go-Go, legendary venues. Roxy is there. Ever consider photo books of those places too, or was the Viper Room sort of your flag? You got that done.
That was just my thing. I mean, I just shot pictures there because you have to understand when I started shooting pictures there, I'm a self-taught photographer, so I knew somebody at a photo lab. A lot of the roles were blank, so I kind of learned my way as I went. And I have a book, and I'd write down the film and the stuff, because I was shooting just with the stage lights because it was dark. And so, yeah, at the time, I didn't think I was good enough to go around, because I was just sort of me with my little camera and just shooting. But we would go after work. We'd go hop across the street and play video. My friend, Kelly and I play video games with Lemmy, Pac-Man downstairs, as you do.
From Motorhead, yeah, you have to.
Hmm.
And I mean, me personally, I'm older than you by I think quite a bit, but I spent all my money and a lot of time in those three venues that I just mentioned in the
Yeah.
90s. Your book is 95 to 2004. That's actually after Johnny Depp, the actor, sold it, isn't it?
Nope.
He was still an
No.
owner then. Okay.
He owned it. Like I said, we left in 2004. And when I say we, the core people that worked it, you have people that started there in 93 with Johnny. There were a lot of the same people as that. Some left like in 95 and everything, but most of the core people started in 93. And those were the original family of the Viper Room.
My
Yeah.
last time there was 1993, actually Halloween. We'll talk about that at the end too. Tell us in your words the layout of the place, upstairs, back room, main stage, kind of like a verbal tour. Give us, from your photographic eye.
You walk in down a long down a long hallway, and you'd always be met by Sean G, with the cash register, and then you can either go straight into the downstairs bar, which was smaller and just more. That was more intimate, and then or you go up the stairs and you go to the main room, and then there was a small office, and then there was Johnny's booth, and then above all that was where the sound guys were. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to run a video at the end for all you Rumble and YouTube watchers so you can see that for real. But that's a good description. And how packed would it be on a given night?
Oh, uh, always. It was always packed. I mean, maybe towards the end, 2004, there were nights that weren't so packed, but in the beginning, in the 90s, always. We had really good bookers who booked the club, and also we would have certain theme nights called Mr. Moves Night, and They would be like, we had the dating game show on stage, or, we would have different things. And, we had Mr. Fats, which was swing at that time, which was really big. So swing bands would come in. And, in the 2000s, we started bringing in DJs from, Europe, like England and France and stuff. And, yeah, it was just, there was always something different there. So people would come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rumor has it that Bugsy Siegel, the gangster that kind of built Vegas, if you ever see the Warren Beatty movie, used to off his enemies in what's now the back room, the one with the one-way glass. Tell us about the history of the Viper Room, and is that true? And what kind of wild shit did you see in those rooms?
Well, I've never heard of people offering Bugsy Siegel or anything like that in the booth area. Um, I do know when we redid the club, you know, because it looked one way because it was Filthy McNasty's, and then it was the Central, and then it was the Viper Room. So when in the early days, it had sort of that still gritty look, CBGB's kind of, with the dark panels, yeah, it just looked like a divey nightclub, if you will. So
They
then,
literally took the bathrooms from CBGB's and put them in there.
I never, well, I mean, the red tile and stuff, maybe, I don't know. I never heard of that. But when Johnny redid it, it was all basically like an Art Deco thing. And they did redo the walls. And there was old wallpaper of, looked like from the 20s of martini glasses there. So that was interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, there are always stories that you'll hear and stuff, but I mean, one of the things is that that we'll never have a time like that again because we have cell phones now. But that was the whole point of this place because there was no cell phones that I mean, one of the stories, like, I can't tell is like my brother came to visit me, and he was just there, like standing on one side was Brad Pitt and the other was Jennifer Aniston, and then sitting in booth was like Jim Carrey. So they would just come and they'd be standing next to you and just be partying because you didn't have that stigma of cameras in their face. And even I was the one with the camera, but just out of respect, I didn't go around, unless they were in the office and they were okay with it. But it wasn't just sort of like in your face paparazzi kind of thing. That was more outside on the, street. But no, it was a safe place for people to go and hang out. And that was kind of like why we were so known and kind of just like the best place to be, the cool place. So,
Absolutely, yeah. I know about it from myself because I used to go there too.
yeah.
I had a friend that did celebrity bartending back in my day, so we went in the back door, usually stumbled out the front door. Tell us about celebrity bartending and some acts you got to see on the stage.
Well, so Adam Derwitz bartended there, Christina Applegate bartended there. They would just jump in the bar and just bartend. I mean, like I said, I my favorite band at the time was Duran Duran. So they didn't play there, but Simon did come in and Nick came in. Nick had a different band at the time called the Devils, and like his backup singers would come. But one of the great things was a Neurotic Outsiders, where you had Simon would sing lead or Iggy, but it was Steve Jones, Jonesy from the Sex Pistols, and John Taylor from Duran Duran, and Matt Sorum on the drums, and Duff McKagan, playing guitar, and
Wow.
or was it? Yeah, no, bass, and it was just. That was really cool because you didn't know who the lead singer was going to be. Sometimes it was Simon, sometimes it was Billy Idol, sometimes it was, I mean, it was just Iggy.
Sometimes Johnny Depp.
And so Johnny had sang too, and Johnny had his band called P that they would play there a lot. So, but Yeah, you never know who's going to show up because we didn't announce things a lot because a lot of them didn't want to be announced. So that's why people would show up during the week because you never know who was going to jump on stage, you know. I know Bruno Mars because back at that time we had showcases, which they don't have anymore. Record companies would come in the middle of the afternoon and say like, "We got this guy," and they would have food and bring people over, A&R, people come and watch it. Gael Siri would come and, just different people from different, Jimmy Iovine, and Bruno Mars was one of the ones that did his thing there. And yeah.
Back when he was a Michael Jackson impersonator, or when he had already had a signed deal?
No, he wasn't impersonating Michael Jackson. No, he was singing.
Okay.
I guess
Well,
that's
that was
where he
singing
got
too, but
fired.
yeah.
I didn't know he did Michael Jackson impersonations. But so, I mean, that was just a great thing. Sometimes I didn't even know who was going to jump on stage. And, not everyone knew. So, but, and then we would have K-Rock events, that would Courtney Love and stuff like that. So it was, you never know. We had, oh, uh gosh, he was an older guy that did saxophone with Louis Prima, and he was just an old guy. So we would have old school people too, Jerry Lee Lewis would play piano, jump on stage, so it wouldn't just be new acts. There was sometimes like older guys would come here and play too, which was really cool. Ray, the guy from the Doors, would come play, so it was cool.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. I moved to Seattle after the Bay Area about 6 years after LA, but couldn't get away from the roots of the Viper Room. Pete Stahl introduced Dave Grohl to Kurt Cobain, and they formed a little band called Nirvana right
Yeah.
there in that spot. Were you there for all that magic making,
I know
matchmaking?
Pete and Franz very well. So yeah. And their band Scream, and yeah. So I think Franz was actually playing in Nirvana a couple of times before they got big, just sort of subbing in or whatever. But yeah. Um a lot of people just started there, and like I said, it was just this family. How do you know all these people? How do you know all these things? This family that we just kind of,
One of those celebrity bartenders I was very close to, but I'm not going to say who it is.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was just, if you were in that circle, you were in that circle, and it was good to be. It was, hard to get into, and I think that's why too, like, doing a traveling show is good because a lot of people weren't able to get in, unfortunately. There was always the line outside, but that was just kind of the coolness too, because it was sort of like an honor to get in.
That's right. And if you were just in town for a few days, you thought you could catch something, you didn't, and now you can see that I could have seen that.
Yeah.
You have this great shot in your book. I looked at it of Duff McKagan, another guy that left Seattle like me. Bands. He made a lot of bands, including at a dinner in LA, met Slash and formed the biggest band in the world, Guns N' Roses. Were you all involved in the present at the creation of that magic?
No, no, no. I mean, I wasn't. I have a girlfriend, Juliet, that used to travel with Guns N' Roses because she was dating Izzy at that time. But no, I mean, that's about as close as I come to. I know Duff separately just from the club. I met Slash once or twice in the office, but haven't met.
But you got that
Yeah.
picture of him, so that's as
I
good as
did.
gold. That's
Yeah, thank you.
immortalized forever. It'll
Yeah.
last longer than Guns N' Roses, although they've been back a few times after breaking up. And okay, I'm gonna say this. You can say no, it's not
Mm.
true, but I know it. Big names like Leo DiCaprio and Spider-Man's Tobey Maguire used to play big time poker there at 8852 Sunset Boulevard. Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I'm told. Did they let you take pictures or watch that?
Uh, did not take any pictures or watch or see any of that. No, no, no.
You will not confirm or
So
deny. Okay, all right. See, I don't work there, so I can say anything. People will just have to look and see if it's a rumor or not.
to look it up.
So the last time I went there was a year after I graduated from college. I went to college at USC in Southern California. Came back from San Francisco for Halloween with friends. It was a tradition. I did it every year from 89, 90, 91, 92. Went away, came back 93 after a long bout in Australia. We always went there on Halloween for my 4 years of college. So this would have been my fifth, 1993. A band was supposed to play Akita's Attack, but instead the lead singer, River Phoenix, OD'd on the sidewalk. Do people still know that? And do they still come from all over the world to see that spot?
To be fair, after 2004, I've never been back, but during that time until 2004, yes, every Halloween there were flowers put on there and pictures and candles. On the door at Sunset, not the door on Larrabee, but the door on Sunset. Everyone would leave a sort of memorial there. After 2004, I couldn't tell you if they still do it now. I don't think they do because, it's been such a long time, but don't quote me on that. I don't know. After
Mhm.
2004, like I said, we didn't go back there. So I
Well,
didn't go back there.
his younger brother Joaquin, who played the Joker, he was there. I saw him. He called 911 from a payphone about a block away. It's gone. Is there
Mm.
any memorial to River there? And do people even want to line up on that Sunset Strip section, or is it just completely like homeless and filth? Like what's happened to that intersection?
I mean, that whole street Sunset has changed. It's become very commercialized. Across from us was Tower Classical Records, and then you had Tower Records, across from that. Now it's
Where Slash
Banks.
used to steal his CDs, he says in his book, before he
But I
had a
mean,
deal.
it's Sunset Strip has changed a lot. The whiskey's still there. The whiskey is always going to be there because it's preserved or whatever.
Historical building.
Yeah, it's a historical building for the whiskey but the club isn't. I don't know if the Rainbow is, but besides those three, everything around it has changed. That whole block that the Viper Room is on has changed. It used to be Turner's, and I don't even know if Turner's is there anymore. Somebody told me that Turner's is no longer there. It's still
Hmm,
a shop, it's still a liquor store, but it's not Turner's.
hmm.
Um, but it's changed, and like I said, I took a break from I left LA in 2024. So, like I said, I didn't go back there to visit. I didn't even go see bands. I had friends that played there, but it was just sort of done, and it was a whole different crew there. I think they're on their third or fourth owner. So it's just different, and it's never going to be the same, than it was in the 90s and early 2000s because again, cell phones changed everything. Um, and I would hope that they still remember River. I don't know. I don't know if they do, to be honest with you. The cell phone, yeah, I heard it's not there. But I haven't seen people line up there or whatever. I did, a couple of times in 2024 drive past there at night, and there are still people on the Sunset side outside because like bands loading out and loading in, but I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if people still go there. I heard, it looks different when you walk in. I heard that they painted the walls differently. It's not all black anymore. I heard the, drink menu obviously has changed.
It's under
Um,
new management since, I mean, maybe he didn't sell it by '05, but he certainly doesn't own it anymore. Johnny Depp, that is.
no, no, no. Johnny left in
Yeah, I think
2004, like I said.
2004. I
So
think his daughter or the daughter of his former partner owns it or did at some
no,
point. I remember a little bit. I don't
mm,
know the current
no. So no, there was yeah, there were three. Like I said, I think they were in their third or fourth owner. But it's just a nightclub now. It's not, it's not the
yeah.
same.
No, and it can never
You
be the
know.
same. You can't catch that lightning in a bottle. It was magic. That's why it's so special
Yeah.
that you did this book. Michael Hutchins from In Excess, he
Like,
another guy who died too young. His last show was there, I'm told, November 2012, I think it was. Did you get that shot?
yep.
You can cry.
Yep.
You can cry if you want
I
to.
was
He was special.
He was lovely. Me, Sal, and him talked to 5 o'clock that morning. He was at the club. We stayed up talking with him till like 5 o'clock in the morning. And then he went back, and then the week later, yeah, he passed. So
Oh man.
we were
Yeah.
like one of the last people to see him. And I like, yeah, he was amazing. Like, it was just talking
Not just
about
last
his
see him,
baby and his
but you have
wife.
his picture. I
I
think,
do,
yeah,
yeah, on
yeah.
stage, yeah.
So you captured really his last moments.
Yeah.
That right there is amazing. I also met Scott Whelan in my Seattle
Mhm.
days. Sadly, it was in the parking lot when he was ordering some medication, and that's at that night show was he was a mess at the showbox, Seattle's version of the Viper Room, at least what I found. Saw Prince last performance there too. Life of a rock star is tough. Did you meet Scott? What was your impression of Scott?
I met him in passing. I didn't sit down and talk to him. I shot him a couple of shows. I think he did a show separately, and then he did an STP show, which was beyond crowded. And I know some people say that that was the best show they ever saw at the
Wow,
club.
I can
So,
imagine.
yeah.
Yeah, he was very talented. Macy Gray, PJ Harvey, both women. Did you see just as many women performances as frontmen in your book?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Chrissy Hine, that was my girl. Like yeah, she put on an amazing show. They did a PETA event there. So she sang with Morrissey. Morrissey was there. She was there, and Rosanna Arquette. It was the whole thing. Yeah, PJ Harvey, cool. Macy Gray, yeah, it was amazing. Jane Wayne County, can't forget her. And oh my God, there's so many Exene was there, the Go-Go's for sure,
Amy Winehouse ever stopped by?
never saw or heard Amy Winehouse. No,
Mm.
uh-uh. No, I'm trying to think. Some of the females, I mean, there were a lot. I mean, like I said, the highlight was Chrissy Hine because I've always admired her, and I mean, she was just as good as any guy really there, But she's up there with like Jonesy and Iggy, so to me, she's amazing. Yeah.
Joan Jett ever?
Not that I know of. I don't want to say she never was there because I don't know, but I never shot her. So, but that would be kind of weird if she wasn't there, but I don't know. Yeah.
One of my childhood favorites, Joe Strummer of The Clash. You got a
Mm.
very good close-up, very soulful look in his eyes. Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols looks like you were literally on stage with him. What
Yeah.
lasting impressions did the Brit guys leave on you? Did they like being in LA?
Well, Jonesy lived there. And so did Joe Strummer. They I just felt like they just liked it because they weren't hounded. It was just a place for them just to go and play music and relax, and even the DJs that we would pick up at the airport that were from England, it was just they got to be part of this place. And it was just cool because they could just hang out and like I said, relax. And there was no stigma of someone taking a picture of you or having a light bulb in your face or something. So yeah, and that's all of them. Like I said, members of Duran Duran, Guns, Iggy,
Both LA Guns and Guns N' Roses?
I was talking about Guns N' Roses. LA Guns members would come there too. Yeah.
See, that's what makes your book so cool, in my opinion, is that most people, 99.9% of the world never went, but they can see it in your book as if they were there. So it was cool and it was special. I'm so glad you captured it. And I'm so glad I found you. Do you know who drew the Viper Room logo?
oh, uh, oh, God, I don't want to. I remember seeing drawings of it. I don't know if it was Johnny or Sal. I don't know.
Okay. One of those guys
Yeah.
though, because I know that like Slash did hit, like I'm wearing the Guns N' Roses t-shirt. He drew this. So I just thought maybe, just maybe he would have done that too. It's very similar
No,
to his,
that I never heard.
okay.
No, that I never heard.
It's
So,
his artwork on his Snake Pit albums looks very similar. So I was hoping you'd
mm.
say that, but I guess not. Um, So last year you had this gallery showing of your stuff in El Paso. You said it went great. It was at the old Sheepdog Brewery, but it's still there. It's like a permanent exhibitor.
No, it
No.
was there for 2 months. We first did it in LA, in Hollywood, in 2023, then brought it here. No, just for a couple of weeks. I haven't left it anywhere yet. We want to travel with it. One of my main things is to definitely go take it to Europe, but also to Middle America, because one of the things in the day, because I used to be the day manager there, so the phone would always ring and it would always be people from Middle America asking. Well, they would always ask if Johnny was there, but just wanting to, oh, what's it like, and you would answer the phone and be, try to tell people I'm working, but be nice, but to be like, I gotta go kind of thing. But Middle America was really interested in it, and I think it would be a good to take it somewhere there. I don't know where exactly. I don't really
Nashville, bring it to I'll help you. Bring it to Nashville. I'll get you the
bring it to
coolest bars
Nashville.
in town. I'll take you to Jason Aldean's bar. He loves Guns N' Roses. What is your fondest memory of the Viper Room?
We were a family there. We were a tight, close-knit family, like brothers and sisters. Yes, we fought, whatever, but I mean, you knew you had something special there because, we didn't really hire from the outside. You only got hired and from word of mouth because of you never knew, like, when Johnny was coming or whatever, and it was just sort of that thing. And you were dealing with really sensitive material. But I think bringing when my brother came, it was kind of like he's like, oh, and he came to the STP show, and that was like a big deal for him because, like I said, one of the things is you were so close to the stage, and literally they were there sweating on you, spitting on you, whatever when they were singing. So, um, yeah, just it was just watching him
Did he
have
have
that
a
experience.
musical background? Or is he just a
My
tourist?
brother?
Yeah, yeah. What's your brother's
No,
story? Yeah.
no, he went to culinary school.
Okay, so you just got to show off your
Yeah,
digs, and okay, that's cool. Well, pick the right show. I mean, come on.
yeah.
Who's the coolest person you got to meet, and did they inspire you?
I love Iggy Pop. He is just the
He's on the cover
nicest
of your book,
guy.
I had noticed.
Yeah, there you go. Just the nicest guy. Slash, so nice. Stuff was so nice. Really didn't meet anyone not so nice, except for one maybe. But she didn't count because she was just guest starring with the Pussycat Dolls, so we don't count her. But
Oh, that's
anyway, she
Scarlett
wasn't the next.
Johansson.
No,
Oh,
no.
well, she was.
Starts with
People
this.
forget, but she was in the Pussycat Dolls before she became
No,
an actress.
I don't care. I'll name her. Her name is Carmen Electra. She wasn't very
Oh,
nice.
that's the ex-wife
Um,
of Novella, or what band was he?
was
Yeah,
was not yeah
Jane's
was
Addiction. Jane's Addiction.
Dave Navarro.
Dave Navarro.
But she was the least nicest person. But no, everyone was just nice because it was like I said, it was a happy place. I mean, it wasn't like a chore to be there or anything. And yeah, but I think in Jonesy was just funny. He's just a funny guy, Steve Jones.
Yeah. So,
But
so you gave Iggy Pop the
Iggy and
marquee
Michael
cover
make
for you, and then
talking to Michael Hutchins,
oh yeah,
for a long time. Yeah,
yeah,
he was special.
that'd be like meeting a saint or something. Although he had problems. But
We all have problems. Come on, Steve.
and we still do. But Iggy
Uh,
Pop is still out there doing shows, man. Did he give
I
you any advice?
know.
Did he say like, "Hey, it's hard to be an artist, keep going," or any advice from Iggy?
No, Iggy just loves life, What's that? Lust for life. No, he's just a nice guy considering he's been around forever. He's been around, from CBGB's New York. I mean, all that stuff. And for somebody who's known like David Bowie and Lou Reed, he's just the nicest guy. He just loves everybody. He's just a nice guy.
I did want to
So
ask you, I'm glad you said the name David Bowie because, Slash's mom used to date him, and I'm just curious if he ever came by together with those
I've
two.
never seen David Bowie. No, that
Oh
would have been
man,
cool.
that would have been so cool.
I know apparently Madonna did come. I wasn't there for that. I think I was told Prince did show up, kind of walk through the thing, but I wasn't there for that. So,
Okay.
because yeah, someone told me he came. He had an entourage, but he had like a big bodyguard kind of guy with him, but
You would have had
just
to
kind
been
of
there
just
on
walk through.
alert 24/7 to catch them all, I'm sure. But you did
Couldn't be
give,
there every night,
yeah,
you know.
gotta sleep at some time. You
Yeah.
gave credit to Sal Janko, who was he to you? I think he and Johnny Depp lived in a car together when they were both broke in Florida.
I don't know if they lived in Florida together, but they did grow up in Florida together. I know they had a band called the Kids. Um, who is Sal to me? Sal is like an older brother. Like, yeah, I mean, I was assistant for a very long time. So, Sal's really smart and very, I mean, just he's very innovative and he would bring in like he brought in DJs before they were even coming out here. Like he would bring in different DJs from England and we had DJs night, Groove Rider and stuff like that before they even became huge. He's just really smart and knew what he was doing. But yeah, like I said, we were all just it was like a family, you have your ups and your downs, but you look out for each other, and that's what we did. So
And just so people remember, that is the co-owner at the time with Johnny to make this thing what it was that you got to appreciate so much. And
he
so,
was general manager. Yeah.
how'd you meet him? Did you just apply and he said, "Okay,
No,
come on board," or
no,
did
like
you
I
guys
said,
hang out?
yeah. You didn't really apply at the Vibe Room. Through my friend, Kelly. So she set up a meeting, and also Dean R. Miller, who did Mr. Fats. He was sort of the swing guy there, and Dean was also an actor, and he was at the club since I think the very beginning. But so with those two, I got to just go and sit and talk and meet Sal, and I don't know, we clicked. He liked me. I don't know. So I just kind of ran his life for many years,
Okay.
and then started managing the club for 2 years.
And you know and saw a lot more than we get to talk about today, that's for sure. So this being LA, of course, the series Entourage before you got there, The Doors in 1991 with Val Kilmer, Be Cool in 2005 with Travolta, they all filmed there. Did you ever get to be on set for a shooting there? The 27 Club in 2008 that came out, maybe?
No, because like I said, after 2004, I didn't go back there.
You were
We
done.
we
Okay.
left, but
That's when it was released. I didn't know when they filmed it, but okay.
oh, no, Martha Coolidge came and did a commentary with Nick Cage for Valley Girl, and I was there for that. You'll see my little credit on IMDb called Self. But so I got to hang out with Nick Cage, which was completely awesome. Um, that and then Johnny filmed some stuff here and there, so I wasn't in it, but I got to watch it and stuff. But no, I think that's pretty much what I yeah, that was
Okay.
pretty much it. Yeah.
How many nights do you think you spent taking pictures there?
Oh, good God. There. uh, I was there almost every night. I maybe took 2 nights off. Because you have to understand, I worked during the day either with Sal at Sal's house, or I was at the club all day. And sometimes I didn't go home and change, but sometimes I did come back. So I would like take a night or two off. Yeah.
So where are
Yeah.
that? There must be millions of pictures not in your book. Where's all that?
I have a whole library. Everything is in photo boxes and cataloged. And I did that actually during the pandemic because I didn't do anything with it before the pandemic. Because like I said, I had that scholarship. I had a scholarship at Strasbourg because after we left in 2004, I didn't know what to do. So I tried out for the school. Strasbourg, which is like an acting school. And so I just started doing that. And then I got on a soap opera for 7 years. So I just kind of left it there. And then when the pandemic hit, everything closed down and people were just saying, dude, you got all these pictures. What are you going to do with them? And because I got tired of watching Netflix, I just started putting everything out and saying, oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. So yeah.
Well, whatever
And
it
it was,
takes.
when I was doing my book, I have three renditions of the book. Not the, so you have the final one, but I have three. Like I'm just sort of, but I would put the pictures on my wall, and it was like Sophie's Choice going, So yeah, it was hard to choose.
So you could do a volume 1, 2, 3 if you wanted, or 4, 5,
I
6,
could
7,
do,
8, 10.
yeah, yeah.
Any plans for that?
No, maybe, because right now I self-publish it. I've not been approached by any sort of company, so it's expensive to put them out. Um, so there's that. But, I wouldn't rule it out. I love the idea of doing shows so people can come because I love seeing people's faces because when we do the show, like I said, we have the stage, but I have a whole playlist of all the acts that I show. And even actually when I do the gallery show, that's also Sophie's Choice because what pictures am I going to put up? Because they're not all the ones in the book. I put up, some random ones too. I was thinking to do something where it's behind the scenes. So you have shots of people that work there, behind the scenes shots, because I have all those. That's something for me to think about. But it's always interesting for people to feel like they were there. So I have a playlist of all the acts, whatever pictures I'm showing, whether it be the Sugar Hill Gang or Chucky or. So it's a whole thing. Yeah,
Sure, yeah. Well, you are in the Screen Actors Guild, or I think, and there is a
I am.
there
Yeah.
is a movie called Studio 54,
Mhm.
which actually kind of a cult classic. You could obviously turn this into a behind the scenes Studio 54 type of scenario if that interests you. Does that interest you?
Like a documentary? There are so many
No, a
documentaries
real
on the
movie.
Viper
Like it
Hill.
could be fiction. Why
Oh, a
not? You
movie,
just
yeah.
have a bunch of stars get up on stage and tell the story of the back room and the young photographer who's up there capturing it, almost famous style.
Yeah, almost was that. I don't know. That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean,
It's worth it.
I do stuff like your show and still trying to do gallery shows because of the fact that I think the Viper Room is up there with Studio 54 and CBGB's as being one of the three most biggest clubs in the world, and it still needs to be remembered. And have people realize that there was a time where you can actually be that close to your star because it's changed now. Now you can it's either the first three songs if you try to shoot a band, or you have to put your phone in a bag, or it's just different. So yeah, once cell phones came on.
Well, I hope you put
So
Nashville on your book tour, and the Ryman is here, and Robert's Western World. They could use you, Tootsie's, of course, and then of course we talked about Sonic Ranch. So you could spend the rest of your life obviously doing this for these amazing clubs that don't really
yeah.
exist anymore. But what is next for you? Tell us about your movie and what it's called. Is that your first movie?
Um, it's a new vertical drama. No, I've done some shorts here and there. And I've had some scripts, win awards. So this is the first time that it's like with investors and everything. So we start shooting September 6th, in El Paso, and
That's next week.
it is. Thank you. But yeah, so we start shooting, and it's getting a lot of traction, and it's sort of Slow Horses meets Blade Runner. It's a spy thriller drama kind of thing. So yeah, so just that.
And you wrote
But
it,
I
produced it,
mean,
and directing it, or what's your
mhm,
role in that? Yeah, all of the above.
yeah,
Okay.
all the above. The creator and the writer, but I am directing the pilot. So
And we will be able to see that maybe in the first half of next year.
No, we're doing the first. The pilot is coming out on Election Day, November 4th.
Okay, well, let's hope to have you
Yeah,
back then, and we'll promote that
yeah.
the heck out of that for you. Well, Christine, I want to thank you for your time. We're at the end here. Unfortunately, I could do this all day. So, but please tell our listeners where they can find out more about you and social media, get your book, anything.
So viperroomphotos.com is where you can see all the well, not all the pictures from the Viper Room, but you get a taste of what's in the book and then where you can order the book. And as far as me, it's Instagram at Christine underscore Lozano underscore photography.
All right, we'll put that in the show notes. Thanks again for coming on with us. We want to get you back
Thank
here
you.
next time you have something coming out. So hang on, folks. I will be right back.
Sing a song about the heartland, the only place I feel at home. Sing about the way a good man works until the daylight's gone. Sing the rain on the
Hey, thanks for coming back. It's that time to remind everyone to please subscribe to heartlandjournal.com. That's how we grow and keep this content free for you. Now, the Heartland Journal news. Kind of, sort of. Let's just call it closing segment. Fields in heaven. There is no need to say goodbye, for we are joined, soul to soul, heart to heart. A part of you will always be a part of me. From puppy romp to aged pace, until the look upon your face that said it's time, we have traveled, running free through field of grass, fields of leaves, fields of snow, love through every high and low that life can bring. Cold nose on my cheek, my morning call, head against my breast at nightfall, my greatest blessing in happiness, my only blessing in loneliness. A blessing does not end, true friend. There's comfort now in memory of you and me running free through fields of grass, fields of leaves, fields of snow. Today you run through fields in heaven. Tomorrow I shall run with you again. There is no end. Katie Burek. One more. Just this side of heaven is a place called Rainbow Bridge. When an animal dies that has been especially close to someone here, that pet goes to Rainbow Bridge. There are meadows and hills for all of our special friends so they can run and play together. There's plenty of food, water, and sunshine, and our friends are warm and comfortable. All the animals who had been ill and old are restored to health and vigor. Those who were hurt or maimed are made whole and strong again, just as we remember them in our dreams of days and times gone by. The animals are happy and content, except for one small thing. They each miss someone very special to them who had to be left behind. They all run and play together, but the day comes when one suddenly stops and looks into the distance. His bright eyes are intent, his eager body quivers. Suddenly she begins to run from the group, flying over the grass, her legs carrying her faster and faster. You have been spotted, and when you and your special friend finally meet, you cling together in joyous reunion, never to be parted again. The happy kisses rain upon your face, your hands again caress the beloved head, and you look once more into the trusting eyes of your pet, so long gone from your life, but never absent from your heart. Then you cross Rainbow Bridge together. Author unknown, which is too bad. I'd like to shake his or her hand. If you're listening to this and still around, please DM me. Love to have you on. And if you know that person, please forward this. My friend and mentor who passed away a while ago said, don't read all that morbid stuff. It just makes you sad. Well, Barry, I hope we all meet together again one day. He was right, as always, but I sure do like the imagery of seeing my pets again one day. Caroline, Ty, Coors, Rocky, the list goes on. That's it for this episode. Thank you, Christine Lozano, for reminiscing with me and capturing in photos the heyday of the Sunset Strip. Not as nice of a place today, but wasn't that clean back then either, to be honest. LA is an interesting place for sure. Stick around for a video you viewers that can watch on the video for a fast-paced, colorful tour of the Viper Room and my video blog with Sweet Caroline 2 days before she died. Last Mile Part 1, I call it. This is goodbye for now. I'm your host, Steve Abramowitz, editor-in-chief of HeartlandJournal.com. I'm just a guy without a dog. Peace in our time, and definitely G2G. Glory to God, and God bless sweet Caroline.
It all ended. River Phoenix died of a drug overdose outside this Hollywood club. Joaquin and Rain Phoenix were with him. He was just 23. The family has rarely spoken about his death publicly.
We were so removed from kind of the entertainment world. We didn't watch entertainment shows. We didn't have the entertainment magazines in our house. River was a really substantial actor and movie star, and we didn't really know it. And so during that time in which you're most vulnerable, there are helicopters flying over, there are people that are trying to sneak onto your land. Certainly for me, it felt like it impeded on the mourning process, right?
The grieving process happens out of nowhere. I'll be driving and all of a sudden I will feel it and I'll just welcome it. Oh yeah,
there's no timeline for grief.
There's no timeline or no place where, it just happens and I welcome it.
Hey y'all, this is Caroline. You have missed her in the last several weeks, if not months actually, because she's been on the down low, the DL, the designated hitter, the rehab lady. She's 14 years old and she has been my co-pilot long before I got in the car and drove across the country to get to Tennessee 3 years ago Sunday. So I just wanted y'all to see her. She's still okay. She's around. She has changed quite a bit. She's 14 years old. Pretty amazing, huh? We got the same white beard, but other than that, she is spry and she is a puppy. But that elbow, look at that. I dropped my technology. That elbow is basically never gonna let her go on a walk again. So we can't do our walk and talks. But I don't know, I don't plan on doing a sit in the grass and hanging out with Caroline in the future. But she's alive and well, rehab every Tuesday, different kind of medications for pain and some injections of glucosamine. Turns out that this area here has no feeling, so you're able to inject her. I didn't know that until I started to have to be the guy that does it. And so there she is. My co-pilot, my bestie. This is Caroline. She is sweet and she is still around, but not able to go on walk and talks or drives to church or whatever I'm able to pull off for you all. And I just wanted to say hello from Caroline because look how shy she is. She's like looking away because she knows we're talking about her. Just the greatest lab of all time. I've had her since she was a puppy. She's had some molars removed over the years, and she's had some emergency room stays, but not many. She's just a hardy girl. She never cries, never whelps, she does bark. She's a great barking dog as far as security is concerned. So we've been happy to have her around, and look how alert she is. She's like, I know there's something happening. I'm gonna tell you in a second. But there isn't actually. So she sheds a lot. She's a shedder, but she's a lover. And actually, to be honest, she's not a lover. She only likes me. It's kind of crazy. I am like her one and only alpha. Everyone else she's kind of against. Even the kids when they were growing up, and my wife, don't tell her. But yes, I know, it's true. Just you and me against the world. That's like when we were in Deadwood, South Dakota, about a year ago, 3 years ago now. Oh, now she wants to lay down. We were just bonding and having a good time and checking out the country that we were getting away from Seattle. So here she is, my Caroline, sweet Caroline, and I hope she's around for a long, long time. She just can't go on walks with us anymore. So, little update, Caroline update. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been dreaming of the
Any views or opinions represented on the podcast are personal and belong solely to the creator and do not represent those of people, institutions, or organizations that the creator may or may not be associated with in a professional or personal capacity unless explicitly stated.